Match Fishtank Unit 6, Lesson 6. So if we're taking a look at anchor problem 1, we need to remember the technique we used a while ago, where we drew a tape diagram, also called a percent ruler, and we put 0% and 0, and our total amount in this first one is 40, and the percent then would be 100%. 40 would be 100%. So there were a variety of ways that we could figure out how to do this. One was to divide the tape up into groups of 10%, and that would be 4. And then from that we can find, I know they're nice and even there, we can find that 30% of 40 is 12. And another way to do that was to take the percent in a decimal format, as you recall. So 30% is 30 hundredths multiplied by the total, 40. 30% times 40. And we could remember that because of often tells us to multiply. So in this case with the diagram here, we found 10% and then multiplied that by 3. So we took 3 times 1/10 times 40. And here we're just putting it together into those steps. So if we have a percent, we can multiply the percent times the whole to get the part. But we want to make the percent as a decimal. For problem number 2, we can use similar analysis. So now we're asking 30% of what number is 12. Again, we can draw ourselves a diagram. In this case, we want to find 30%, but we don't know what number, so I'm just going to call that n. Or better yet, I'm going to call this W for the whole. Now I know that this corresponds to 12. So in my previous equation, I took the percent written as a decimal times the whole to get the part. And I can do that again here. So I can take 30% times the whole, which I don't know, to get the part, which in this case is 12. So if we think back to the last lesson, that's going to give me that the whole is equal to 12 divided by 30% written as a decimal. Or to simplify that, I could say that the whole is equal to the part divided by the percent if I write the percent as a decimal. For these problems in number 2, I can just figure out the percents, and I think this is actually number 3, which ones are the part, which one is the percent, and what is the total. So in A, I'm looking for the whole, and I have my part as 6 liters, and I know my percent is 20%. So I can remember that if I take my percent, 20%, multiplied by my whole, that should give me my part, which is 6. So then I can take that the whole is going to be the part divided by the percent written as a decimal. And of course, then